Survivor has been going on for 46 seasons now, and who am I to tell them how to fix the show? What qualifications do I hold? Those are questions I want you to completely ignore as I and a whole lot of fans here on YouTube try and fix the show we love so very, very much. Number 1, I have said this many times before, and I will say it many more times. We need more diversity in the cast. Survivor 45 featured 3 lawyers out of a cast of 18 people. That's about too many for me. The final 6 of Survivor 45 featured all 3 of those lawyers, 2 graduate students, and an entrepreneur. So I have to ask, where's the diversity in that? I want people from all walks of life meeting each other and either working together or being at odds. We need more blue collar workers to mix in with the very white collar cast we've been getting over the past few years. Heck, have we even had anyone like Keith Nail in the past decade? And why not some no-callers while we're at it? As a coconut vendor, I seek truth. Also, I have said this many times before, and I will keep saying it until it gets resolved. There are 4 states in the United States who have not had a single representative in 45 going on 46 seasons of Survivor. Those states are Alaska, West Virginia, North Dakota, and New Mexico. Isn't that wild? We've had hundreds of players, and so many have come from the tiny state of Rhode Island, but not Alaska? Isn't that wild to you? West Virginia, North Dakota, and New Mexico are no scrubs. They have a lot of people. There has to be at least one person in each state we could cast on a future season. Survivor has had a push towards more diversity in the new era in terms of players' ethnicity, but I want us to go beyond that and find people who have different backgrounds and are from different places. And while we've definitely gotten that with players from Canada, Puerto Rico, and they even got a player from Hawaii and a player from Wyoming finally, we still have 4 states which have not had any representation at all. Now here are some of your opinions you gave me on YouTube when I asked for them a little while back. KGest Monkey says, the fact that people have been playing around the fear of funky twists / advantages, such as Austin giving an idol to Julie, is proof that the new era has gone too far with just how many stupid twists they're doing. In particular, the mergatory twist. They're a glorified swap that makes us wait another 2 episodes until we get to see the real merge dynamics. Twists don't make a season, the cast does, and throwing a bunch of stupid twists at a good cast just ends up robbing people and doesn't make a bad cast any more interesting. Random J says, the main thing that bugs me is a 13-person merge with a cast of 18 people. Kinda wish they went back to 2 tribes, but still did a swap. Then merge at 12. I don't know, I just don't like how fast the pre-merge ends nowadays. Cork Saul says, the format has become too predictable. Fewer days plus too many twists equals tribes being more loyal to each other. Tika and Reba figured this out, and to a lesser extent, Taku and Luvu as well. Jeff should increase seasons to at least 30 days, ideally going back to 39, and stop doing 3 tribes to start every season. Number 2, 3 tribes to start a season sounded like so much fun after season 40. Because it happened so rarely before it. Heck, I made a video in between seasons 40 and 41 where I said a perfect season would have 3 tribes. Now, I just need a break from it. 3 tribes is fine, but again, we need diversity. Why not do 2 tribes for the even number seasons and 3 tribes for the odd number seasons, or vice versa? That way we can still get some diversity to what is slowly becoming a very predictable beginning to all of these seasons in the new era. But I suspect the 3 tribe format is to sell more buffs. That's just my suspicion. I wouldn't be surprised if that influenced the decision to add in a 3rd tribe in past seasons as well, such as in Winners at War when they had 2 and then they split into 3. Why not? More tribes equals more buffs to sell. It could also be influencing why they rarely do 3 tribes collapsing into 2 before the merge anymore, because that affects buff sales. Why would you buy buffs for a tribe that no longer exists? I could be wrong, but either way, we need some diversity in tribe sizes. Why not flip-flop between 2 and 3 tribes each season? By the way, thank you for watching this channel and supporting it by liking and subscribing. If you want to help pick what videos I make and watch them all weeks and even months early, then consider financially supporting us on Patreon. Patreon, by the way, has a free tier so everyone can join and get exclusive posts. Thank you for your support. Number 3, I alluded to this in my last point, but the twists, which were once meant to completely shake up the game, have now become worn out and tired. Sure, we get something new from time to time, like the bird cages in Survivor 44, but those didn't amount to much, did they? While I personally would prefer the twist to be whatever the season-long theme is, it seems the show is committed to not doing themes anymore, for better or for worse. But this new era has slowly become incredibly predictable with the twist that players are either shocked by, and I no longer know why, by the way, that they're shocked, because they're the same ones. Or maybe they're just pretending to be shocked by. For example, every season starts with 3 tribes on their mats talking to Jeff. We then do a challenge for some camp supplies, and the losing tribes then compete in a variation of Sweat versus Savvy, where they will either succeed due to it being so easy, or fail epically because it's way too hard. Either way, the challenge will not be balanced correctly. Then, in the first or second episode, one player from each tribe goes on a journey where Survivor forces their hand into risking their vote for an advantage and will have all 3 players sussed back at camp no matter what they actually did. Their tribe will not fully trust them. A beware advantage will be at each camp that will likely be some silly nonsense that will have players losing their votes, before we get to the overly long Earn the Merge challenge where half of the players in the game get immunity. We then will go another 2 episodes where we can't have a normal vote due to nonsense like splitting everyone into 2 groups. Then in episode 9, if we're lucky, the show will let them play normal Survivor for once. That is until we likely get another journey of nonsense, and then come the final 5, they have to go to a new island where we are told how intense and brutal it is, but then see none of that on the show. And then one of them wins an advantage in a challenge in the final 5, usually to help them win immunity, of course. And then the final 4 has the forced fire making, and the final 3 faces the new open jury format. Now, that's just what I can rattle off the top of my head after seeing this happen like 5 or 6 times now, and I'm sure there are even more predictable tropes the new era beats like a dead horse that I didn't mention here, but it is quite dull to watch and could use a lot of variety. Let's try something crazy. No journeys or Earn the Merges or Final 5 Island nonsense for one season. Let's try something new in their place. Here's some more of your all's opinions you gave me on YouTube. Lex Goety says, I think it's time to bring back some returning players. It would be fun to see. Also change up the format so there isn't this whole merge but not merge thing, and maybe have a surprise final 2 final tribal to spice things up again. Stefan says, I really miss the classic final 2 format, or even the classic final 3 format at this point. This final 4 with a fire making challenge as a formality format doesn't quite put the power alliances to the test, such as the final 2 and 3 formats did. I'm not saying get rid of the forced fire making challenge altogether, but it doesn't have to be in every single season. It's Whack says, for once I can say no, not really. There's nothing that needs to be fixed. 90 minutes and a tribe swap is about as good as it gets. Only thing is tone down the twists and stop taking people's votes away for no reason. If you're gonna take it, give people the option and some sort of reward for doing so. Goofy Goobery says, I think the biggest part for me is the 39 days. 26 just doesn't feel like the full package for me. Number 4. This has been brought up time and time again by everyone, and I will agree with you all until the cows come home. We need a new location. I get the budget savings and tax deals they get in Fiji. So again, why not use a different part of Fiji? I am showing you footage from season 14 as an example where they went to Fiji before, and this is also Fiji. It's the same country, but doesn't it feel wildly different to look at than what we get in the modern era? And it's not just because it's in standard definition. Baby steps. Let's have the tribes live on different beaches. I think that's a good idea. You did it in season 14. Australian Survivor just recently did it as well. Why not American Survivor in the new era? New camp life beaches would bring much needed variety to my eyeballs that have seen the same 3 or 4 campsites for going on what, 14 seasons now? Now, here are some more of your all's fixes for Survivor. A person says, all I can think of is quit having so many ways for people to lose their votes. I can just about live with it if it's the consequence of a player's decision, like they found a beware advantage, they took a chance and lost at Shipwheel Island. They're doing Shot in the Dark, now that I'm not crazy about either, or powering up an idol, but making it inevitable like they did it for multiple rounds this season taints the central gameplay mechanic. Fantastic as Me says, if they make an all-star season in the new era, they might be doing something. But we need to have the themes back because I'm tired of the same one over and over again. Duquesne says, my goodness, can we get a normal vote off? Stop with the twists and journeys. Let the cast breathe and be the star of the show. Number 5. At this point, it looks like a returnee season is not likely to happen until Survivor 50. That's just my guess. Though I am holding out hope for some sort of returnee season in 48. But let's probably safely assume there won't be any returnees in seasons 46 through 49, and 50 is our next big season to feature them. I have an idea. Let's do winners versus runner-ups. There are a few ways to slice this idea. One is we do 2 tribes. One tribe is every winner of the new era from seasons 41 through 49, and the other tribe is the more interesting of the runner-ups from seasons 41 through 49. I won't name names. I'll let them make those choices on who those people are, but it will be 18 total players, and you have to have at least 1 representative from each of the seasons. Or another idea to do with the same twist would be to do 3 tribes. One tribe of 6 or 7 with winners from the new era, and the other 2 tribes consist of the runner-ups, which again, 6 or 7 people depending on how many players they want in the season. Everyone's from seasons 41 through 49. So what ideas do you all have for the inevitable returnee season of Survivor 50? I may make a video all about that. Anyways, here's some more of your ideas on how to fix Survivor. The Dizzle Hawk says, earn the merge and split tribal after the merge are unfair to the players. Scott says, I'd get rid of the open forum at the final tribal council. I also hate the Final Four fire making. It seems about pointless when you have incredibly dominant players lose the game by a pure game of chance like Devins, Jesse, and Carson. Real Asian Tales says, I think the editing is so wishy-washy. Like if you want to portray A as a villain and B as a goat, then just do so. Plus editing out somewhat important scenes and hidden secret scenes is not cool. Number 6. This is a big one that I don't think anyone actually wanted to leave from the show, and yet they left for seemingly no good reason. Themes. What happened to the themes for each season? Since season 6 of Survivor, where we had men versus women, we've had some sort of theme for almost every season. For example, Millennials versus Gen X of season 33. Why can't we do the next version of this? Gen Z versus Millennials, or Gen Z versus Millennials versus Gen X. But we would need a much catchier name than that. That would be horrible to try to remember. It would still allow them to stick to the format that they like right now, and basically it would be a casting gimmick that could get us to see more players of an older or even younger variety. After all, do you remember when Sammy was only 19 years old when he played Survivor 43? And anyone who follows this channel knows that was a massive game changer. It blew everyone's minds. Sammy was only 19.
Sammy, first of all, how old are you really?
I'm 19 years old.
Here are a few more of your all suggestions on how to fix Survivor. Chimmy Infernape says they need less superfans on the show to make it more chaotic, more villains, and less quitters. Last Day on Earth Mystery Man says Survivor's main problem is now that it's too short, not in terms of episodes, but in terms of amount of days. Also, the Beware advantages have run their course with the lose the vote part. Just get rid of that. Also, where everybody gets to vote, losing your vote is stupid. Tokyo Tourist says taking people's ability to vote away in the merge is truly horrible and needs to be put to a stop. This is Survivor, not Mario Party. Name Here says the cast needs to be fixed. You guys said it yourselves. More blue collar people, like why are there 3 attorneys and 3 Ivy Leaguers in Survivor 45? So what do you think? How do you suggest fixing Survivor? Comment below and let me know. Thanks for watching, and doubly thanks for liking and subscribing. I'll see you all next time.